Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome into Morning in the Valley. Glad you are with us today. Casual Friday, as we are wrapping up another week as we get ever so close now, 87 days until we begin the 2025-26 season. We've got a lot of news to get to today. Coming up, we're going to talk about Murray State wrapping up their trip to the Bahamas, a successful trip to the Bahamas. We'll talk about that. We've got a Missouri Valley Conference legend who is getting his jersey retired at Southern Illinois, and a bunch of commitment news out of Cedar Falls, Iowa, as head coach Tanya Warren picking up some commitments, not only for the 2026 recruiting class, but also 2027 working ahead. So we'll have all that plus more coming up. We'll also talk with the junior point guard for the UIC Flames. He is Ahmad Henderson, one of the few returners off a 17-win team last year, as UIC really, you could argue, maybe the pleasant surprise in the Valley last season. And he is back for year two, playing for his hometown Flames. So we'll talk with Ahmad coming up here in about 10 minutes. If you haven't done so already, please head on over to YouTube and subscribe to the program. Morning in the Valley, like, share, comment, all of it. All of it is appreciated. Our subscriber count just continuing to inch northward every day. And I appreciate that as we continue to get this show out in front of more college basketball loving fans out there. Couldn't do it without you, and appreciate each and every one of you for being with us here this morning. All right, headlines from the day. And unfortunately for the boys, the trip is over as Murray State has returned home after they took care of their 3 games Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday down in the Bahamas, taking care of the University of Calgary on Wednesday, 93-55. Second time this week they played Calgary. There was a little bit of a schedule adjustment after, I guess, there was a better, more hands-on understanding of the level of competition that they were going to potentially play from against a team from the Bahamas, and by competition I mean very little. So it was like, all right, let's at least get Calgary back on the schedule, and it was a better game, even though the Racers still won by 38 points. I mean, I think, I'm not. You try to make some sort of comparison about, okay, what was Calgary, what level? And it's like maybe a D3 school. I mean, I think if you're trying to, make a comparison to some sort of draw an analogy to like what did the Racers face, from a competition level. And I think in the end, it's hard to, look at the 3 games and, you win by 30 on Monday, you win by 60 on Tuesday, you win, by 40 on Wednesday. Obviously, very quickly you realize this was not going to be a tournament where losing was in jeopardy, but you want to play well and feel good coming out. I think everybody feels good coming out. I don't know that we necessarily learned anything about the Racers overall, but it was maybe most importantly, as much as anything, is the whole team together for the first time. Ramon Doman, the Frenchman who literally arrived like the day before the team left for the Bahamas. And so everybody now there, and to be able to spend a week together and all the team bonding stuff off the floor, certainly the extra work on the floor together as well, nothing but positives. And so from that team building aspect, it was win, 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 win. And then obviously, look, you win on the floor, even better. The one, I mean, if there's one ultimate bright spot, I think that we got out of the trip, and you want to see who's good and who's all out of all the hype. What does it actually mean when you get them on the floor? I think Fred King answered a lot of questions for the Racers again and again. We are driving with the parking brake on here, being excited about what we saw out of the Racers. But Fred King in 3 games, after spending 3 years at Creighton, playing behind as good of a center as there was in the country in Ryan Kalkbrenner at Creighton, comes in, plays 76 minutes in 3 games, so about 25 minutes a game, averaging close to 18 points, 10 rebounds a night. He had 31 rebounds in the 3 games. 16 of them were offensive rebounds. And so you just saw, you're like, okay, that's the guy the Racers thought they were getting, and at least certainly on this stage against this competition, he did not disappoint. And so that was certainly a positive to take out of it. And again, everything has the caveat with it. We'll see how it all transfers forward when you start playing competition at the Division I level. but certainly for 3 days in the Bahamas, in his hometown, in his home country, playing in front of friends and family. It was a great event for Fred. For a variety of reasons, but he played very well for Ryan Miller's team. The other, and again, you look at statistics, everything's kind of inflated when you win by 30 and 40 and 60 and so on. But the numbers that were at least, if you're a Racer fan, I think comforting from a point guard standpoint. Point guards took care of the ball and they distributed the ball. Javon Jackson, the former UIC Flame, over the course of the week, 12 assists, 3 turnovers. KJ Tenner, the West Virginia transfer, 11 assists, 3 turnovers. Lane Taylor, the Central Arkansas transfer, 16 assists, 3 turnovers. And then Ben Schultzberg, formerly played at Creighton, 5 assists, no turnovers. So those 4 point guards combined for 44 assists against just 9 turnovers, 5-to-1 ratio. You're doing backflips of your coaching staff if you can get that once we get into November. Mason Miller, the Creighton transfer, nephew of the head coach Ryan Miller, left game 2 after he knocked knees with a player from the Bahamas team, and you were just holding your breath that he was going to be okay. Played, was fine Wednesday, so no issues there. Again, the Racers did not play with Dylan Anderson. He did not play the 7-footer. The transfer started at Arizona, went to Boise State. Now at the Racers, was a little dinged up health-wise. They held him out for precautionary reasons. He'll be fine. And then again, Ramon Damon, the Frenchman who just joined the team the day before, he did not play either. But all in all, I think for the Racers, a successful trip. Got out of there healthy, come on home. They're going to get about a week and a half off, and then they are back at it. Classes start, I believe it's next Monday, and then fall practices begin for the Racers. It's hot in Murray. Maybe not as tropical as not as many beaches in Murray, Kentucky as down in Nassau, the Bahamas, but a good trip for the Racers. In Carbondale, Illinois, congratulations to Mike Glenn, the legendary Saluki, as SIU announcing they will be retiring his number 34 coming up later on this season. And the thing that, and I guess it's just things you don't notice for whatever reason, but there's only 2 jerseys, 2 numbers that have been retired by Southern Illinois: Charlie Chico Vaughn and the legendary Walt Frazier. And Mike Glenn will be number 3, part of that 1977 Sweet 16 team for the Salukis. 4th on SIU's all-time scoring list, nearly 1,900 career points. Was drafted by the Bulls in 1977 in the 2nd round. Had a 10-year NBA career. And off the court, one of the neat things, and this was really a neat deal when I was reading up on it. He left the Bulls, went to Atlanta to play for the Hawks, and in 1981, he started a basketball camp. It was the first basketball camp for hearing impaired children in Decatur, Georgia. That was back in 1981. They have just put together that camp. They just wrapped up their 45th edition of it. So just a great impact on the floor, great impact in the community off the floor as well. No date has been set yet for the jersey retirement. I'm assuming it'll be during conference season, and they're going to just have to wait until the conference schedule officially comes out before they make that announcement. But very neat deal there from Mike Glenn, and congratulations to him. And I saw Mike Reese, the former SIU radio voice, the longtime voice of the Salukis, saying there's probably more numbers coming soon, and certainly a lot of deserving guys. And that's the part that struck me. It's like for all the dudes that have come through that program in the last 50 years, only have 2 retired numbers is to me kind of crazy. But we'll see how that progresses as the days go by here for the Salukis. All right, our guest of honor has arrived. He is the point guard for the UIC Flames. And he is Ahmad Henderson. And I'm doing a little homework on Ahmad last night. 5'9". 5'9". There were only 5 players in America last year who were 5'9" at most, who averaged at least 11.5 points per game. He may be quote unquote small, but he is a dynamic scorer and a huge piece to this UIC program. And he is with us this morning. Let us bring in Ahmad. How are you this morning, sir?
Doing great, Jeff. Appreciate you having me.
Well, I'm glad you're with us. What's going on with workouts? Are we all done with the summer now? Officially?
We just finished up Wednesday. Was our last day. And it's been a good summer for sure.
How did the summer go overall? Maybe compared to last year, your first year with the program, you had a little better understanding of what Coach Eson and the gang wanted to do. How'd it go for you?
It went well. This year it's kind of the same as last year. We got a whole new team, whole new dynamic. So for me, it's kind of been more comfortable because I kind of know what Coach Rob wants and what he expects. So it's a new setup, but we've been building chemistry, and I'm looking forward to the season.
You come back again, you averaged 11 and a half points a game last year. And just looking at the returners, Jace Nathaniel played a grand total of 3 games last year. Carlos Harris did not play. And that's the whole returning group. Last year, you were the new guy on the block. This year, everybody else is new. What was the dynamic like for you just with the summer? And maybe just what was the burden like of, man, I'm the returner and I'm the guy that everybody's kind of looking to have another nice year. But what was that dynamic like for you?
It's been definitely different having to step up in kind of a more of a leadership role, more than last year being the only returner. But I've embraced it, and everybody's kind of looking at me to see what's expected, and I've kind of been taking that role and embracing it.
You guys, I guess you started your career at Niagara and then came back to UIC after a really nice freshman season there. Kevin Devitt was an assistant at Niagara and now is an assistant going in his second year at UIC. Who went first, and how impactful was the partnership maybe of the first guy dragging the second guy along?
I mean, really, it's big. Kev, recruited me since I was really a sophomore, junior in high school. So our relationship is big. And he left and took the job here first, and he was just like, Ahmad, you coming with me? So and it was kind of a no brainer for me to come back home. So that's kind of how that went for sure.
Coming home, what is that like for you? Just to know every night there's probably, I got to imagine there's at least one and hopefully a lot of friends and family in the building up there watching you play.
Man, it's amazing. It's nothing like it. Just having my family at every game. Being able to go home, and see family is, you don't really get that a lot. When you're in college. So, it's big. And then to just put on for my hometown, where I grew up and where, I started at. It's been fun, and it's been, really, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here.
Now, listen, some kid. I mean, I've got kids in college, and I know it was. Yeah, I'm not going to college near home. I need some separation from mom and dad and the family and all that. So, I mean, you got a year away, but what was there any when the opportunity arose? Was it like, well, UIC is a chance to play at home, or was it, man, UIC's at home and I want to get back there?
I mean, I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, UIC being in a great conference, the Valley, was a good for me, a good step up for me where I was, and I mean, of course, being home is just, it's nothing like it. So, it's been fun.
Have you been sort of the go-to for the new guys about man, where's the best place to eat, the best place for to go get some entertainment and so on? You sort of the concierge of entertainment for the program.
Oh yeah. I mean, Chicago has the best food. So, I've been showing everybody around, showing everybody some new food spots and where to go and where to have fun at. So, yeah, I mean, it's been cool to be able to lead some guys and take some guys out.
You guys were really one of the great stories early in the year last year, and just the style of play and getting up and down and scoring a bunch of points. And you beat Drake at home. You go to Bradley and just wax them, and you're like, holy cow, here comes UIC. And you stumbled down the stretch. You lose 8 of 12 to end the year. When you look back at sort of that back third of the season, what kind of went sideways for you guys? And obviously it's a whole new team, but stuff that maybe lessons you learned that, okay, that didn't go right, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen again this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course the season didn't end how we wanted it to, but I think just going forward, just knowing that the season is just, it's a grind in the Valley. It's every game you have to be locked in and be ready to face every team's best challenge. I think last year we were kind of we had that underdog mentality, going into it because nobody really expects much from UIC, and being from Chicago, I kind of know UIC hasn't been that competitive. So I think last year it was good to kind of get back on that, winning track of some sort, and we just want to, continue that this year.
If memory serves, you guys were picked last in the preseason poll last year, and then again you get off to this kind of great start. Was it something that you felt, whether it's around campus, just in the community a little bit, that especially get those couple big wins, and did you feel some momentum around the program, maybe still feel it today that maybe wasn't there a year ago?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Coach Rob did a great job of giving us that underdog mentality, going into the season when they picked us last. And I think as we were winning games, you can tell, more people start showing up to the games. It was, more people start talking to you around campus. It was just, it was a lot more buzz, for UIC basketball for sure.
What was the biggest lesson you learned about playing in the Valley after watching it from close, but now you're in it every night? What was maybe something that surprised you a little bit?
Something that surprised me. Really, me being, smart. This conference has a lot of, tall, big players. The size is definitely, a factor. And I think that's something that I learned to kind of play against, even though, I kind of been playing against my whole life, but just 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 going through the grind, man. It's, every game you're gonna get every team's best shot. And I think I've learned to, never get too high and never get too low, throughout the season, because, that next game is coming up.
Well, at 5'9", as I said when you were coming in, one of 5 guys in the country last year to average at least 11.5 points per game at no taller than 5'9". Bradley's Duke Dean was another one of those guys. And look, you are the ultimate Zag at 5'9" in this league. You said it's a lot of strong, big guys, and everybody's zigging, and you can zag. What is the advantage for you at being 5'9" and being, God bless, the fastest dude on the floor most of the nights? But it's just like, what is the advantage for you where you're like, I can still be as productive as I am playing against these big dudes?
I think, like you said, my speed and my quickness is mainly, my best strength, I would say. I think that's something that, I use to my advantage, and I try to use every time I really touch the ball. So I think I use that to my advantage, and then, just being kind of unorthodox. You don't see a lot of, 5'8", 5'9" players. So just being dynamic and, just using those things to my strength.
At the end of the season, we've kind of reached that point now where you almost believe everyone's leaving until you hear they're coming back, because it's just the nature of college basketball. And you put out a post, in the middle of March saying, "Hey, I'm running it back and coming back." What was there any thought of leaving, or was it, man, I know I'm here for another year?
Nah, there was really no thought of me leaving. I think, my relationship with the coaching staff and Coach Rob and Coach Kev and everybody that's here was good for me. I think I got better, last year, throughout the season, which was a big thing for me. So, just going forward and wanting to continue to put on for my city, I think was a big thing too. So I think it was a mixture of all those, and, want to run it back at USC.
To have, you finish at high school, and then you go to Niagara, and now you go to UIC, and it's like, so 3 years, 3 different places. Just personally, staying put for another year. Just how has that just kind of been nice for you, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, this spring and summer?
It's been amazing. Just the comfortability, I think, has been good for me. Just to kind of know what's coming. Know the things we want to do here, and me being here for a second year, I think has really helped me. This summer, help everybody else. So I think for me personally, it's great to be here again.
What has been your priority individually the last 5 months since the season ended? Of, I want to get better at this year before you really unveil yourself to the world there in November.
I think the weight room. The weight room has been my biggest thing throughout the summer, and, still now in the fall. I think getting stronger is definitely my biggest, thing I need to get better at for sure.
So 5'9", you're slight of build, but again, is this one of those things where the coaches and everybody's like, dude, you go eat everything you want? Like, I'm assuming you got that metabolism where it's like you can eat 10,000 calories a day and you can't put on weight to save your life. So,
yeah, actually I have a very fast metabolism, which has been tough. But yeah, they want me to eat everything, 5, 6 meals a day, whatever I can, I can take. They want me to just eat. That's what everybody's been telling me, just eat. So,
and living in a city like Chicago, there's a lot of good things to eat. So
yeah, it's not hard. It's not hard.
That is very good. Outside of basketball, did you play any other sports growing up?
Oh, I played football for a year. I was running back. People can catch me in open field, but yeah, just mainly just football. And then once I kind of got to high school, my dad really made me focus on basketball, which I wanted to play a different sport, but he said lock in on basketball, which was ultimately a good decision, but just basketball in high school.
Did you like getting hit?
No, not at all. So that's why I tried to run away from people as fast as I can, so I wouldn't get hit. So yeah,
smart dude. What do you do off the floor? That's not basketball related.
Off the court, I mean, I play video games. I go out, see the city. I'm living in the city right now. I know you can see it, but I like to go out. Just go out and just go on trips, see the world. Just mainly just chilling. I'm really just a chill guy though.
Who out of all your new teammates, and not to elevate one over anybody else, but maybe folks we haven't seen, we all see, and everybody gets in the portal, we all see these YouTube clips and we all get excited about, oh, that guy's good, from 42 seconds of stuff I saw him play, because I never actually watched him play a game last year. Who's a guy that's rolled into campus this summer that you're like, ooh, buddy, I can't wait to play with him?
I think I would say Elijah Crawford. He's also a small point guard, about 5'9", and I think me and him together is going to be fun. Just how dynamic we're going to be, and I think he's definitely stepped in and made his mark for sure.
You guys, last question before I let you get out of here. Just some non-conference schedule, still waiting on it. We've seen a couple games that have popped up over the last couple of weeks. You're going to Oregon State. You got games at Yale, Charlotte, Daytona Beach for your MTE. Anything on the schedule that you are most excited about? A trip maybe that you've got circled on your calendar?
I've actually never been to the state of Oregon. So
okay.
So I think that'll be a fun trip to kind of cross off the list of the states I've been to, and I think that'll be a fun game to go to for sure.
Did you have a favorite road trip in the Valley? And maybe game aside, but maybe walking around the day before, or some. Look, it's hard to beat the Chicago food, but maybe some food or restaurant, someplace that you liked in the conference.
I think just traveling to Belmont. I think that was okay. They had a good. A kind of a good city where we were staying. Nashville is fun, so I think that was probably the best road trip to probably go on for sure.
Well, he is Ahmad Henderson. He's the point guard for the UIC Flames, getting ready for his junior season. I appreciate the time immensely. I know time is fleeting here. A couple of days off before classes get started and fall practice begins. But thank you for the time. Best of luck this season, and hopefully we can talk again soon.
I appreciate you, Jeff.
All right, thank you. There is Ahmad Henderson. And I'm telling you, that guy is they were, and I've said on here, I kind of said all last fall, I was like, UIC was my Valley crush last year, of just the way they played, and just everything was downhill, and he was a lot of it. Him and Javon Jackson, whoever had the ball in their hand, it was like they were going 100 miles an hour, and if you didn't stop them, they were just going to go lay it in. But everything was just fast, third fastest tempo in the Missouri Valley last year, which I think slowed down towards the end because they were lightning quick all year. And glad to have him back in the league. He was one of our Paul Oren and I did our returnees all conference team. He was on that list. He said, let's see, so 5'9", one of 5 players in the country last year at 5'9" or shorter, to average at least 11 and a half games. And he is a lights out closer at the free throw line, 89.9% from the stripe last year. And of all the players in the country that took 119 threes, he was one of only 8 in the country to make 89.9%. I'm sure he would love to have made one more just to hit the 90 threshold, but just a dynamic score. And this league has had some, even in recent history, and we've got it in the current as well. Jaquan Johnson at Bradley. Duke Dean is obviously graduated out. We have seen small guards be really good, and Ahmad Henderson looks to be the next one in that line of small guards here in the Missouri Valley. All right, back to headlines of the morning. And we've got some commitments from Northern Iowa. As let me see, we have Callie Oakland. She is a 2026 commitment from Cottage Grove, Minnesota, 6'1" power forward. And she has committed to Tanya Warren and UNI, offered just June 18th, 6 weeks ago. A short courtship between Coach Warren and Callie Oakland. Already 1,000 rebounds in her career there in Minnesota. She's the number 13 prospect, saw ranked in the class of 2026 in Minnesota. So some good size as they are Coach Warren replenishing for the future there in the 2026 class. She got a second commitment as well, did Coach Warren. And this one surprised me just a bit, only because it wasn't 2026. It's 2027, as Macy Meyer, who is from Grimes, Iowa, about 2 hours away from Cedar Falls, has committed to UNI. She's just getting ready to begin her junior season in high school. Another mid-June offer. And less than 2 months after she got the offer, she says, Coach, I'm coming. And that is you often see these offers that come out years in advance, and you just try to build relationships, and you always wonder, are those really committable offers? Well, apparently, even though she got offered on June the 13th, it was very much a committable offer. The 5'6" guard, again, out of Grimes, Iowa, which is just down the street from Des Moines. So she got out of the grasps of Drake and goes to UNI, a second-team all-state performer as a sophomore, averaged 15 and a half points a game. And she is somebody that we will have to just keep an eye on, but it's going to be a couple years before we get to see her. But I believe that is the first 2027 commitment in the Missouri Valley Conference, and that is Macy Meyer committing to UNI. On the men's side of things, Fort Northern Iowa, a familiar face returns back to the sidelines, along with Ben Jacobson, Cale Schmidt, back at UNI as a graduate assistant. He is from Dubuque, born in Dubuque, spent 4 years at Coe College, Division III school, and then used his COVID year to come in last year and play for UNI, played in 15 games, averaged about 4.5 points a game, but obviously enough of a relationship built there between Cale and Coach Jacobson to be able to stick around a little bit longer as a GA. So I've beat on this drum all summer long. I just love it when the program takes care of itself and takes care of its own and helps build that next generation of coaches and so on. And obviously you get a GA that's been around the program even for a year, but knows how Coach Jacobson wants to do things and so on. And Cale will help continue that here for the next wave of UNI players there in Cedar Falls. Scheduling news, and this is not as much new news, but just now confirmed news. Illinois State confirming their matchup, going Hollywood to take on USC at the Intuit Dome, the brand new arena where the Los Angeles Clippers play, and they will play USC coming up on November the 14th. Part of a doubleheader. That'll be game one of the doubleheader. Arizona and UCLA playing presumably in the nightcap as the main event of the two games there, but a bit of an undercard with Illinois State and USC. And, again, number one, this is a quad one opportunity for the Redbirds. USC, the Bart Torvik projections have them as a 25th team, number 25 team in the country. This is an awesome opportunity to get a quad one game technically on the road. I guess this would probably be, I know Ken Palm, you have home, road, neutral, and he also has semi-roads as well. We saw that with Drake last year when they played it played Kansas State in Kansas City. Yes, it was at a neutral site, but it was technically a semi-road game. This will qualify as a semi-road game. I don't know that qualification matters in the NCAA tournament committee and all of that. It'll probably just be noted as a neutral site game. But how much USC basketball care is there going to be on November the 14th, still in the heart of football season? And it is not on campus. It's over. It's down this. I say down the street, but in LA, that can be an hour away dome. And again, you've got Arizona and UCLA playing in the next game. Well, Arizona and UCLA don't care for USC. So if Illinois State can hang around at all, it's going to be a pro Illinois State crowd trying to pull an upset over USC. And so getting a quad one opponent on a neutral floor with really an opportunity to have a crowd behind you, it checks every box that you could want. And so really an outstanding opportunity there for the Redbirds taking on USC. Don't have the official non-conference schedule released yet for Illinois State, but we did get the official schedule from Coastal Carolina, and that confirms in this game we talked about, 2 months ago, but Coastal Carolina will go to Illinois State on November the 23rd. Guarantee game. Illinois State paying $75,000 for Coastal to come in. In the end, kind of a bargain. Really, anything these days less than 90 is a bargain. Maybe even less than 100 is a bargain. So for 75, pretty good. The Torvik projections have Coastal at 242, so they're kind of in that gray area of a quad 4 game. But Illinois State, maybe you give up a little bit with maybe not as quote unquote bad of a team as you would like in the 300s, but you get them for a little bit of a bargain. So you take the trade off there for Coastal. One other late breaking schedule news that came out just this morning, and Drake will host SIU Edwardsville. Alec Rosinski reporting this morning. They will host Edwardsville on November the 14th. That guarantee is $85,000, so a little bit of a bargain. $85,000. Torvik projections at 233. So again, in that gray area. But SIUE, who I believe finished second in the Ohio Valley Conference regular season last year, but won the OVC championship, the tournament championship, and made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time. So at least a team with a little bit of tournament pedigree for Drake. And Eric Henderson there, let's see, I guess that'll be his second Saturday of the regular season there on November the 14th. But SIUE coming to Des Moines to take on the Bulldogs. And finally today, another old friend alert, as Zeke Montgomery, well, let's get rid of these boys. Zeke Montgomery has signed, and he will play professionally in Austria. As has been announced, he will play with the Oberwart Gunners in the top professional league there in Austria. The Gunners have won back-to-back championships in that league in Austria. Zeke averaged 12 points a game last year for the Braves, but just another one of a slew of Valley players from this past season who have moved on to the next level and will play professionally, and Zeke will get his chance there in Austria. All right. That does it for this morning. I think that's all we got. Here this morning. So I'm glad you've been with us today. I want to thank Ahmad Henderson. Very nice to have him. We're going to try certainly here in the next I think we've pretty much got every coach at some point this summer. I think we've had one holdout. I think Ben Jacobson is the only coach off the top of my head. Maybe one or two. Robin Schur, we're still working to get her on as well, the Evansville head coach. But other than that, I think we got everybody. We're going to really try and now this next week is sort of a little bit of a dead zone as we're through summer workouts, and this is kind of the final bit of vacation. And then really by August 18th, the fall semester starts beginning. Kids back on campus, so we're going to do our best to start bringing you some more player interviews as we roll towards the start of the season on November 3rd. So thanks to Ahmad for being with us. If you haven't done it already, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the show there. It is free, costs you nothing, but all the past shows, interview clips, and so on, you can find them there. You can click on the little notification bell So as soon as we go live, you will know we are up and running, and so you won't ever miss us when we are live here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. And again, that will pick up a little bit once we get into the season, and we certainly have more to talk about on the daily. So don't want you to miss anything here at Morning in the Valley. All right, that does it for this morning. Glad you're with us today. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you right back here on Monday, 9 a.m. on Morning in the Valley.